Good morning. Welcome back to the channel and thanks for tuning in. I am Durka and today we're in the Scharnhorst. With this boat having been out since July 2019, it begs the question, would I still buy her in 2021? Inevitably, there has been some amount of power creep in Legends as new ships, both Tech Tree and Premium, have come out. This can lead to ships that have been out for a while losing their luster. So, is this the case for Sharny? Well, this game in the background can help us determine that. First, a little bit about this Sharny. She is set up to brawl with enhanced torpedoes, fast reload, 5 heals, enhanced accuracy, and turret traverse. In this particular game, we are top tier, which is one of the reasons I play so aggressively. So here, I don't know if any of you guys have had this bug, but basically, World of Warship Legends has an auto-aim feature to make it a little bit easier for controller console players to initially aim. It's not perfect, but it does kind of give you a general idea of where to shoot your shot. And sometimes this bugs out a little bit, and you could see there on the Boise, it was aiming me in the middle of nowhere. So I kind of missed an opportunity there on the Boise, but that's okay. Also, I know that there were 2 destroyers in the match and I assumed one of them spawned in front of me. That's why I kind of adjusted my throttle and juked out the Fubuki, making him miss all of his initial torpedoes. He went to the center of the map, and that pretty much gives me free reign over here. There's nothing that I fear, so I like to play the Scharnhorst by pushing flanks. And if you can kind of flank the enemy, you get better broadside shots, and it helps your team a lot if you can do this. So we take a blind shot at the Fubuki there and actually hit him 4 times. So definitely doing my job trying to get these destroyers out of the match. We are down 2 ships very quickly, so hopefully we can kind of make that up. Again, the Lion is not a ship that I would fear in the Scharnhorst, and without him having any support, my plan is just to bum rush him. Keep my bow pointed towards him, get close enough to torp from either side. Before my shells can take him out though, our Gaieti torpedoes him, gets him out of the match, so now we're only down by 1 ship. Trying to be cautious now because I'm sure that I have the attention of the Fubuki and possibly even the Moss that they have on their team. We briefly spot the Zara, which allows us to shoot into his broadside, getting us another Citadel. While the Scharnhorst guns are low caliber and difficult against some battleships, they are murderous against cruisers, especially broadside cruisers like these guys. You're not going to overpen like some of the bigger shells, and generally you can rack up a considerable amount of citadels. Talk about a target-rich opportunity here. We have 2 broadside cruisers, but we really need to take out the destroyer because once he's gone, the rest of this game is history. And again, here we have an auto-aim mishap. The best thing I've found to do is just to switch targets, use RB, select another target, and then come back to the target that you want to shoot, and it should reset it so that you don't have any more issues. We go ahead and get another shot off at the Zara, finishing him off, and the Boise has wised up and is heading out to sea, or actually to the center of the map, but he's running from me. Initially checking the leaderboard in this game, the Boise was probably one of the only ships that I really feared, just because if played correctly, it can be a powerhouse. The enemy Moss, the last destroyer in the game we spotted earlier, we knew he was kind of playing the center of the map. He has pushed into us where we are going to have him guaranteed detected this entire time. So any minute now, if my teammates want to chime in and start pummeling this guy, that'd be great. The Moss is another ship, especially in this situation, that could be really, really dangerous for me and end my game here pretty quickly. but we are going to go ahead and play chicken with him because I am a YOLO Xbox player at heart. The plan is to fake him out here, like we're going to come around the island, beach it so that his torpedoes will go flying by me, but because we left it in full throttle a little too much, we kind of popped out the side here, and we're definitely going to eat some torpedoes because of it. We hit him with a nice 3,000 damage shot, and our teammates finally chime in at the point that I don't really want them to. Since I took all the damage, I really wanted the kill, but that's okay. So far, we're having a pretty decent game by anyone's standards, but believe me when I say it's just getting started. We could confidently say by watching the beginning of this match that the Scharnhorst doesn't really look power crept at all, right? And if you think that, I would be inclined to agree with you. In high tier games, I will say you're going to have a lot harder time, but that could be true of any tier 6 ships going against 7s. Personally, I've logged around 2,500 battles, and I found that I really enjoy the German battleships. I like to play aggressively with a ship that has decent speed, maneuverability, and get into stupid brawling situations. People dog on it, but I honestly enjoyed Gneisenau more than any of the American, Japanese, or Russian battleship lines. Sniping in battleships can be fun, but it's pretty passive. Torpedo boats, fun, kind of passive. Kiting cruisers are fun as well, but they're situational and you have a hard time pushing objectives, so on and so forth. But when it comes to the German battleships armed with torpedoes, like Odin and Scharnhorst and Gneisenau, I feel like I can handle most situations, and I tend to enjoy myself like this. With a versatile ship that doesn't get me into quagmires and situations that I can't eke out of. Speaking of which, it is 3 versus 4, and we are down by 100 points. We are also down to about 21,000 health. Now their Bayern doesn't seem to have a lot of health, and I am not sure about really any of the other ships in the game at this point. I know that there's a Leander heading towards the middle, and we've already preloaded AP. We're going to try to keep our destroyer alive and keep him from taking away any more points from our team. So we're just waiting to clear this island like the Death Star at Yavin 4. And before he can smoke up, oh boy, okay. That's not what I was expecting. But beautiful thing about Scharnhorst is that ultra quick reload, especially with Brawler. And again, this guy's not going to get to smoke up before we have another volley heading in towards him. He realizes it, but a little too late, giving us our high caliber. So now we see what we're up against, the Gneisenau and the Dallas, which is very dangerous. Honestly, worried more about this Dallas sitting on the other side of this island and burning me down than I am about jousting this Gneisenau. He gets one fire initially, and I can only hope just to push close to this island to force him to pop around the side exactly like this. Luckily for me, he's broadside, and again, as we pointed out earlier against the other cruisers, these small shells are not going to overpin. They're going to do a lot of damage. We did shatter one there because he was slightly angled, but he's not going to stay angled forever as we push closer to him. So as we wait for our guns to reload, we're lining up torpedoes on the Gneisenau. And there we go, 2 more citadels on the Dallas, and the torpedoes we initially shot are going to finish him off. I know the Gneisenau is going to turn right, so I probably should have led them a little bit more, but maybe that'll be adequate, and we'll try to turn in and get the guns to shoot this guy as well. Only 1 torpedo meets its mark, but all of the shells meet their mark for the double strike. Taking out the Gneisenau and the Dallas just leaves the Bayern left, and certain victory for our team. Another thing I wanted to point out in this game is how much more I could have gotten. The Lion, how close were we to getting that kill? the Moss. How close were we to getting that kill? He probably had 100 health left. This was probably the closest I've come to getting an 8 or a 9 kill game. I think the most that I've ever gotten is, well, I won't say. Don't want to give a spoiler alert here. But we are going to move over here and try to work on this Bayarn with 6,100 health. Now this is about the point in the match, actually maybe 45 seconds prior, as I was just shooting my guns randomly, that I realized that I had not recorded the audio for this game. Unfortunately, I use OBS Studio for both my voiceovers and for recording the games, and if you don't have it set up just right and you're switching back and forth, it will do this. And so there was no audio background in this game, which is very unfortunate, but it was too good to not post. And I just had to make a video out of this. So the Bayarn doesn't have the best accuracy. We're going to try to kind of weasel back and forth and avoid his incoming fire and see if we can take him out. I'm also kind of trying to get a little closer to my teammates just to maybe get a smidgen of will to rebuild. 1,600 health. This guy could easily take me out in one salvo. But as we're wrapping up this little duel here with the Bayarn, would I buy this ship again in 2021? 1,000,000 times yes. The combination of the fast reload, good speed, tankiness, maneuverability, torpedoes, the 5 hills, just all of it together, this thing is the whole package, and there aren't really many other ships in Legends that I have this much fun playing. I would say out of all the battleships, I'm really a cruiser destroyer kind of guy, and out of all the battleships, this would be my most played one. Well, I hope you guys did enjoy that banger of a battle. 3,300 base XP, 6 kills. We didn't squeak out the 7th, 8th, or the 9th, but overall a fantastic game with more medals than I can count. But I hope you guys did enjoy. Please leave a like, comment. Would love to hear from you, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.